And as you're about to see, not all of our speakers put quite so much effort into what they were going to wear. Simon.
Hi. I'm going even further back than Matthew. We're going back to the 19th century, to a guy called William Quarrier, who's famous for two things. Firstly, for sporting one of the very earliest toupees known to man. Sure, that can't be his natural haircut, can it? And also for being a philanthropist who established Quarriers, a very well-known Scottish charity. Now, William Quarrier was born into poverty. His dad died when he was 3, and he entered work in a pin factory at the age of 6. He was desperately poor, spent a lot of time on the streets begging, and couldn't believe how many people walked by and just ignored him, despite the fact he was really, really poor. So he swore that if he ever had the money, he wouldn't allow that to happen again. Now, he apprenticed as a shoemaker. He ended up marrying the boss's daughter, which is quite a clever way of getting out of poverty, and ended up being quite a wealthy man. But he never forgot what he swore when he was a kid. And so he decided that he was going to do something about all the destitute children of Glasgow. So first off, he put an ad in the paper and asked for a donation, which is equivalent today to £100,000. Now, that's quite an off-the-page ad, isn't it? £100,000, just an ad in the paper. He got it. He got it, and he set up the first project. Inspired by that, he decided that he was going to build a village. And this was his vision. Quarriers Village, it still exists outside Glasgow. And his vision was that all these kids who were destitute in Glasgow could live in family homes, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in each home, looked after by adults who were effectively their parents. That was his vision. But how was he going to realize it? Well, he decided the only way he was going to do it is to get all the rich and influential people in Glasgow into a room. So he invited them all to hear what his plans, what his vision were. And when they all got into the room, he locked the door. Now, the next bit, I apologise to the whole nation of Scotland now, because I can only do the next bit. It feels like I only do it in a Scottish accent. So apologies, Fiona, but also to the rest of Scotland. And this may be the final nail in the coffin of UK unity. He got them all in a room, and he fell to his knees and said, "Oh, Lord! Don't let these people leave the room until they've given their money to my cause." That's the end of the Scottish bit. It didn't? No, thank you. And amazingly, every single person in that room pledged to sponsor one of the buildings at the village. And he built that whole village within 5 years. Because he had the guts. He had the guts to say to wealthy people, do you know what? You can bloody well afford this. You can do it. And they said, OK, we can see the vision. We can see what you want to do. We want to be part of that. And what I really wish I'd thought of is to be as brave as he was. Because nowadays, today, in Britain, our income distribution is as bad as it was in late Victorian times and getting worse. It's getting more and more skewed. And there's huge numbers of very wealthy people who are doing absolutely bugger all to help the communities around them. And as we see more and more poverty, I don't know about you guys, but I see more and more homeless people. In the last year or two, I've seen lots more homeless people. We've got to start challenging the wealthy. We've got to start challenging them and saying, do you know what? You're going to have to do something about this. And so, from my perspective, it's really, really important that we have the guts to think bravely, to think about how we can make big asks of those wealthy people, to challenge them, to really do things that could transform the lives of so many people. Because sure as eggs is eggs, the government's not going to do it. And if people like William Quarrier and a lot of other philanthropists in the late 19th century, they had the guts and the vision to do this, I think today we've got to have that same guts and vision and really start being much more bullish about the way that we ask wealthy people for big donations. William Quarrier, getting on his knees, telling people he's not going to unlock that door until they give him money. I wish I'd thought of that.